Gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Breaking Bitcoin, brought to you by Cracking Cryptocurrency. It's another day, another dollar, another crypto dollar up, maybe another crypto dollar down, depends on which position you're taking in the market. In today's video, I'm going to break down for you technical analysis of Bitcoin USD, Ethereum USD, Stellar Lumens, and Ripple. And we're going to look over the price fundamentals and price action. Also, I'm going to go on a little rant about Bitcoin maximalism, because I get so much flack for being a Bitcoin maximalist, yet an altcoin trader. So, let's talk about it a little bit. This is Cracking Cryptocurrency. Let's get cracking. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in again to yet another episode of Breaking Bitcoin. As always, I'm Justin Wise, lead technical analyst at crackingcryptocurrency.com. Feel free to check us out, join our Discord. We would love to see you in there and have a conversation. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to keep up to date on the latest Bitcoin news and altcoin trades and be a part of the greatest signal community that there is out there on the vast interwebs, then make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an update. And if you are a returning viewer, hey man, give us those thumbs up. You know, we always appreciate them. Again, today we're going to break down Bitcoin, Ripple, Ethereum, and Stellar Lumens. I've been asked a lot about them. This is not Altcoin Tuesday. This is Bitcoin Monday for me, so we're going to be doing the big charts today. I'm glad to see all you, and thank you so much for tuning in yet again. So without further ado, let's get to the charts. All right, we will start off today's wonderful adventure by just kind of looking at CoinMarketCap. And obviously, we can just see that the entire market is in a consolidation period for today. We're in a bit of a downtrend. Obviously, XRP taking the biggest hit at 18% down in the last 24 hours. Ethereum taking a big knife to the chest at a little bit of almost 10% down. Bitcoin only down a measly 3%, which is nothing for Bitcoin. And Stellar down 10%. So really some big losses for the big competitors to Bitcoin right here. Yet in my mind, obviously not competitors, yet interesting fundamental trades to take. We can just scroll down and we just see the typical sea of red pattern with very few exceptions. That is so much the case in Bitcoin, in the crypto markets. Obviously, you guys know this as well as I do. You just know that there's good days and there's bad days. This is not like your typical Forex or stock markets where you're going to find good profitable trades some days and not some days. The entire market tends to kind of go in one way. Either everything's pumping because Bitcoin is either pumped and is now moving sideways, or everything is going down because people are dumping. This is really the state of the market that we're in, and we really have these states of enthusiasm, obviously, which last for months, where everything is really bullish, and then obviously we have these long-term periods of depression where everything is very bearish, and this is what an emerging market looks like. So this is not because cryptocurrency is immature or a less reputable asset, or let me rephrase that. It is not because cryptocurrency is less valid to trade than your traditional Forex currency pair or a traditional stock. Those things might be more static, might be more secure, might be more basic, and they might give you more longer stable returns, but you're not going to see the volatility, and you're not going to see the gains that you can see in the crypto market. The reason why we have these extreme volatile gains and these extreme volatile momentous movements is because of the immaturity of the market, and it is a market and an asset class that is still maturing. So, without further ado, obviously, we could just look at this all day and be depressed, but let's not do that. Let's break into the price. Let's look at some technical analysis, guys. Let's do that. All right, so we got the dollar charts pulled up here for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Stellar Lumens, and Ripple. So let's go ahead and start with the big daddy of them all, Bitcoin. Now, if you guys have been watching the videos, you guys know where I'm at with Bitcoin. Obviously, I have drawn the descending trend lines and the up and the ascending trend lines to show that we are still seeing the lower highs and for a while lower lows, but now recently a flip to the higher lows. So now we're experiencing lower highs, higher lows since the endpoint of June, and that's been a very nice turnaround. So now we're in a very nice tightening, consolidating, descending triangle or symmetrical triangle, however you want to look at it. Clearly a symmetrical triangle to me, although I've Tired of arguing ad nauseum with individuals who want to take their own interpretation off price data. So it's whatever you guys want to call it. I'm just calling it as I see it. The red lines are obviously the descending bearish resistance trend lines, and the green lines are obviously the ascending supportive trend lines. Now, if we can lock into our most recent trend here, we can see that based off this most recent trend line, off these last two lower highs, we came up, touched right off, kissed right off the resistance line as I predicted, as I said in my previous videos, and now we are consolidating back down to the lower trend line. So we are looking at a retracement down to the level of around the 6,200 to the upper 6,100 level. So you guys are pretty safe on your bearish shorts. Bears are in control of the market at the moment. Obviously, our short line would be here at 68.73. If we were taking a short trade, this would be our stop. And if we see a higher low posted within this most recent trend line, you could move your short down and lock in your profit. All right. So, but what I'd like to do is just take a larger overview look at this, and we can see that obviously as we descend into this, you can see the range consolidating and tightening down. What this means is that there's going to be an explosive movement one way or the other. Everything is lining up. If you guys have been paying attention on Telegram or on Discord, I know that you have seen the increase of botting, of increased marketing, of increased signal groups, of increased Telegram groups, of increased masternode coins, of increased altcoin launches. This is all predictive of the fact that individuals are front running the market and getting people primed for the next explosion in crypto. Now, I am extremely bullish on this asset class as a total. Otherwise, I would not be doing this. However, I will give you guys that my inner prediction is that we're going to see a break of this support eventually. When this trend consolidates, I would say that we are still at a 60-40 percentile ratio, a probability ratio of 60% moving to the downside and an extreme downside move for ultimate consolidation, where I think we're going to break well below the 58. Let's see here. So our recent low, our lowest low is about the low 5700s. I think we're going to see a nice spike below that is what I'd really like to see. And I will be buying that dip like it was going out of style if that happens. I'll be buying that under 5700 dip like it was the last opportunity to buy Bitcoin. And then I think we're going to see an immediate reversal to the upside. Now, it is possible also that we see a tightening of this consolidation range, we move further into this triangle point, and then we break to the upside and we don't see that downside. However, based on my experience and based on how institutional traders trade and my knowledge in the markets, I think that that is very unlikely. So I think that your shorts are safe for right now, but I would be very careful on how I play that short side position, because I think we're going to see a real big explosive movement after we consolidate not even consolidate, after we thrust quickly down to the downside. We might even hang out there for a while. And if we do consolidate down below the 5700 level, I think that's going to be the optimum prime buying entry. But let's respond to the reactions. We'll just see how the market plays out. So that's my prediction as we go right now. If we look at TD sequential, zoom in a little bit here, and we see that TD sequential recently gave us quite excellently the optimum exit point on our 9 count to the upside. Our 9 gave us the exit signal. It was a perfected 9 to the upside back on the 24th of July. And then we had a great entry signal again on the 8th of August with our 9 buy setup. And then we had our exit again on the 31st of August with our 9 count to the upside. So we have not gotten the clear 9. Obviously, price is just ranging and price flipping. I talked about this 1 count should have been an 8 count and a 9 count to the downside. If you want to reference the previous video that I put out, we can talk about that, or you can see where I talked about that. But right now, just looking at pure TD sequential, we don't actually have an entry position. We're waiting for a completed 9 count to the downside, a 9 buy setup. But you can see here that, clearly, TD sequential was just quite beautiful at predicting these markets. Perfected 9 counts to the upside, exit the market, perfected 9 counts to the downside, enter the market. And using TD sequential, these are the things that we look for. So, and TD sequential is giving us even a more bullish optimism for our top line of resistance. So TD sequential is telling us if 81.99 is broken, that we're extremely bullish to the upside, because then we're much more likely to complete a completed sell setup to the upside. Our risk side, our risk line right now for where we're bearish, if you entered on a bullish entry to this 9 count to the downside, is our risk line right here at 55.31, which I do have a suspicion will be broken just based on what I'm hearing in the rumor mill and also my TA of the current Bitcoin market. All right, so as you can see down here, this is the indicator that I'm working on. So it is in beta version right now. We have some traders in the community beta testing this right now. And this is our crossover strategy based on a Fisher transform and exponential moving averages. So super briefly, there's kind of a lot to digest here, and I don't want to get into it super much. I'm going to put out some videos after we've got all the beta testing, after we've got the reviews in, and we have more research. But I have been using this indicator and been playing with it. I designed this indicator based on my strategy for using the Fisher transform. And using the Fisher transform to try and parse out the dominant wave cycle, using a much longer time frame. We're trying to predict absolute tops and bottoms in the markets. There's many ways to use this indicator, and when I produce the video, you guys will be able to see this. But it works in conjunction with my signal strategy right here for entries and exits. And as you can see here, that Bitcoin has given us some very nice predictable. Fisher has given us some very nice predictable entry and exits, and this is all quite plotted out nicely. I also have a strategy back tester for this that is compatible with TradingView, so I think that you guys will be pretty excited to get your hands on this. If you would like to be a beta tester for this indicator, go ahead and join our Discord at discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. Links will be in the description down below, and send me a direct message, and I will be more than happy to put you in the beta pool so you guys can test this indicator out and tell me what you guys think of it. But I'm pretty proud of it. I think that it's pretty reliable and pretty effective strategy. It's got an over 60% effectiveness backtesting strategy on TradingView. So I am pretty happy with it so far. So let's take a look at Ethereum. All right, so looking at Ethereum definitely does not fill us with much confidence at this time. This is not my inherent bias against Ethereum. However, what I have done is I have plotted historical support lines right here indicated by these blue lines, and we did come down, briefly breach this line, and now we've moved back up and we're moving back down to test it. Obviously at the moment the bears are still in full effect. We're experiencing a strong series of higher lows. Excuse me, lower highs. Can't speak tonight. God. Lower highs all the way to the downside with lower lows as well. Obviously, this is depressing for any market. We are in an extreme bearish market as indicated by the red background right here. The price is well underneath the 55-day exponential moving average. And we are not seeing any clear bullish signs at the moment just based on price action. So looking at TD sequential to see if we're looking at a potential reversal. Let's see here. So TD sequential gave us kind of an entry right here on the 13 to the downside, a 9 set up to the downside, which was just recycled. So all we're seeing right here is continually recycled 9 counts to the downside and 13 counts to the downside on TD sequential. This 13 count to the downside, based upon historical resistance lines, I think this is kind of interesting. Obviously, we had this 13 count to the downside, a perfected 13 count to the downside. Right on a historical support line that was briefly breached with a perfected 8 count to the downside, and now we've moved back up. However, we have price flipped, and now the bears are again in full control of this market. So we will just be interested to see, as well as this Fisher crossover that we will see forming right now. In one more candle bar, we will actually see the red arrow pop up right here, the way that I've programmed this indicator. One way, this is a little brief intro, but one way to play this indicator is that when you're looking at Fisher transform crossovers, is that when you're in a bearish market, as indicated by the red background, you're taking short entries. You're not looking to take long entries. And in this market, I have not been bullish on Ethereum. You could have played the 1 hour or the 4 hour chart if you were looking to scalp, but for a long-term position, obviously, this is a bearish entry, and all these short entries would have been extremely profitable for you. So Ethereum, not looking to reverse, although I'll be interested to see what happens with these historical support lines. But right now, I am not seeing any indication of a reversal whatsoever in Ethereum. All right, moving on to Stellar Lumens. Everybody's pony horse for the race. Now, Stellar Lumens, I think, has some amazing fundamentals going on. We called Stellar Lumens in the Free Signals channel. Very profitable trade. You could have entered this at several points, and we've had a very nice run up right here that is obviously now retracing quite significantly. If we take a look at Fibonacci and look at the top to the bottom, where might we be looking to retrace? Well, the 0.618 to the 0.786. The 0.618 more extensively in altcoins, the 0.786 more extensively in Bitcoin itself. So we're looking for a potential retracement more down. Almost came down and kissed to the, if you're looking, let's see here. So this is based on the dollar, so about 22. So let's kind of see how that plays out. Obviously, we're seeing right now still lower highs and higher lows, however, so we are moving into a more of a descending formation. We seem to have some strong support. Support is rising and lowering prices, moving down to meet that. So I'm expecting more sideways consolidation and then a pop to the upside on Stellar Lumens. Stellar Lumens, a more bullish coin for me. I'm kind of excited about Stellar Lumens. They've got some good fundamentals coming out. So taking a look at first TD Sequential. Let's see what TD Sequential, how it would have had us play the market. Obviously, oh, this would have been a beautiful entry signal right here. We had the perfected 9 buy setup right before a perfected buy countdown. So this would have been your strong entry position right here on the close of this candle. Obviously, we can see we wicked down, or we moved down significantly with a good amount of momentum prior after that. But this still would have been a good entry, I think, on Stellar Lumens. Even if we retrace the 0.618, you're only retracing to your break-even buy-in level. And right now we're looking to break this this level right here of the 0.319 level, a little bit higher, about the 0.32 level, is where we want to break on Stellar Lumens. That is our TD resistance line at the top, the true high of this one count to the downside right here. That was this completed buy setup. And if we break that, I think we're going to see some nice bullish momentum. So I still think this 13 was a good entry based upon what we called back in Cracking Crypto at the beginning of August. And so I think we're still in a very good position to ride this out. Obviously, there was a lot of potential for short trades here. We take a look at the market strategy in this down market. You could have taken any of these short positions and quite profitable. And now we're moving to the upside, and we could be looking to take a downside. Now, a little bit more nuanced approach to this Fisher transform strategy is also these overbought or oversold levels. And as you can see here at the below the -2, you can see that Stellar Lumens is quite oversold. So this would have been a potential entry right here on this green, and this would have been a very nice bullish entry for you. All right, taking a look at Ripple, and all these charts look the same, don't they? I mean, Stellar Lumens, Ripple, Bitcoin, Ethereum. I mean, they all just look the same. They all look the same, drastic red 2 candles of the last 2 days. We've had 2 days of consolidation now. So looking at Ripple, we can see that, again, we're in a dominant downtrend. I mean, all these charts look quite similarly the same. We see a little bit more the same thing with Ripple, the same kind of positive bullish momentum, this recent price spike that we had, same that we just saw with Stellar Lumens. If we take a look at the chart, I mean, they look almost identical. See here, we have this nice downtrend, and then a spike up, and then another spike up. The one with Ripple, this is more kind of out of the nowhere price spike up. So let's take a look at TD Sequential. See what TD Sequential would have told us, where we would have entered via TD Sequential. So we had an unperfected 9 buy setup. I would not have probably taken this trade unless I looked at other things. However, now that I look at this a little bit further, we see that we have a 13 buy countdown right prior to a 9 by setup. So a 9 and a 13 right by each other is a very strong reversal indicator. So this would have told you to enter right around this area, and I believe, I don't know if we called, no, we did not call Ripple in Cracking Crypto free signals. I think we called it in premium. So if you were a premium member, you would have gotten access to the signal. Free signals did not get this one. And this would have been a fairly profitable trade for you. However, we're still not seeing a strong entry. So this was not a good trade. You would have been, this was a lucky trade. And sometimes we're lucky, sometimes we're good. So, taking a look at TD sequential, we still don't see, based on current price action, we don't have a strong entry right now. This is our risk line, so if you were wanting to enter into a trade, I would be trying to enter as close to about 23 cents as I possibly could. However, if we do a Fibonacci retracement of this latest move and see where we might possibly retrace to, you can see that we're already at the 0.618 retracement. In fact, we've moved past that, so we're looking to enter around the 0.786, around 36 cents. If you were wanting to enter based off Fibonacci, so that would probably not be a bad entry for you. However, I would wait and not try to catch a falling knife and wait for an actual reversal and then play to the trend. Just based on this recent price flip, we're above the 55-day EMA. And if we look at our crossover strategy, we can see that we have a good entry here. We have all these calls to the downside would have been quite profitable in this market. However, we see that we're extremely oversold here at -7 on the Fisher. So this would have been a good entry. We can see here the drastic move downward and then the cross up, and then this less of a cross up. However, we're bottoming much higher, and that is quite nice to see. We're bottoming higher and we're bottoming above the risk line, and then we have this nice move up. So all of these short entries based on the Cracking Crypto Fisher Transform crossover strategy would have been profitable for you. And then these extremely oversold entries based on the Fisher crossover would have been quite profitable for you too. Again, if you want access to this indicator, you need to join the Cracking Crypto Discord at discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com and direct message me in the Discord, and we will put you in the beta program along with some other of our traders. I would be more than happy to get you in there, and it's a great way for you guys to get involved with the community. All right, so we've looked at the charts. We're obviously consolidating. There's some good bullish momentum posted up. Scott, one of our other Cracking Crypto team members, posted a nice chart earlier today about he's quite bullish on Bitcoin. This is I'm just posting a more nuanced position on this, so I'd really like you guys to go check out Scott's post. I'll put a link to the description down below. I'd like to know what you think. Give us your opinion. You know what to do, guys. If you don't like my TA, then go ahead and give us a thumbs down. But if you like what you see and you'd like to know more, hit that subscribe button, join the Discord, and hit us up. All right, guys. Thanks so much for sticking with us so far. Again, keep in mind what you heard. If you like the video, do what you do. If you don't like the video, do what you do. What we're going to be doing now is I'm going to just give you guys a brief explanation of Bitcoin maximalism. I'm going to put out some more videos on this in the future. But I get a lot of questions based on this, so I thought that I'd just give you a little soliloquy here and explain my position on why I feel the way that I feel about technology and about philosophy and about life and about what's good. And so if you were only interested in technical analysis, you can safely stop the video here, do what you do. However, if you're interested in a more nuanced perspective on life and cryptocurrency, stick with us for about 5 minutes. So I'd like to pose a question to you. Why are you into Bitcoin? Why are you into cryptocurrency? Did you get into cryptocurrency to make a quick buck? Or did you get into Bitcoin to make the world a better place? What makes you wealthier? What makes you wealthier? Does it make you wealthier to profit in an extremely unjust, malign system that is completely inefficient? Or does it benefit you more? Does it make you wealthier overall? Does it make the ones you love wealthier overall? to have a system in place, a monetary system in place that is rational and sound. Fiat currency is not sound. Fiat currency is a debt-based Ponzi scheme used as a tool of control by central banks to manipulate and debase the currency and to swindle the savings of the average person. Central banks have a monopoly on currency issuance. Central banks control interest rates. Central banks control monetary policy. Central banks have a monopoly on the printing of money. And all of these things are economically unsound. The free market handles things beautifully. So let me pose a question to you. What would you rather be? Would you rather be wealthy in an extremely unjust, insane system? Or would you rather have a rational, sound monetary policy, a sound currency as the base of your society, where all men and women could freely compete and freely find a fair market value for their labor, for their intelligence? What's better for you? What's better for your family? What's better for your loved one? These questions I asked myself for many years. And these questions are why I got into Bitcoin. And these questions are why I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. Now, don't get me wrong. The interest and the passion over cryptocurrency with all these alternative coins is extremely fascinating. And I'm extremely interested in all the fundamentals and all the technological innovations that some of these altcoins bring to bear. But the reality of the situation is that the best programmers and the most action happens on the Bitcoin network. It is the most sound, the most redundant, and the most secure blockchain in existence. Many of these other blockchains only offer flash in the pan excitements. And over 80% of all altcoins are scams. You all know this. You all know that it is irrational to think that there's going to be 80 different competing currencies. Think about this. Do you really think about this. If you are any citizen of any country in the world, you have a dominant currency in your state. So if you go to any gas station, convenience store, grocery store, retail store, you shop online, you're dealing with the currency, the dominant currency of your country, as established by your central bank. And I guarantee you have a central bank. Now, do you think it's very rational or efficient to go to a particular store and they say they have their own currency? You go to the liquor store and they have LIQ coin. And if you want to buy anything, you have to have LIQ coin. Now, you can take your Bitcoin and get some LIQ coin. You have to go onto the exchange and get some LIQ coin and exchange your BTC for LIQ coin. And then you get the LIQ coin and you got to download the wallet for it. Or maybe you download one of these multi-coin wallets. And now you can buy stuff in LIQ coin because that's exclusively what this liquor store takes. And then you get your stuff and then you get home. And you got to keep in mind the conversion rate from Bitcoin to LIQ coin to USD or whatever the dominant fiat currency is in your country. Does that make any sense to you? No, it doesn't. Because money is one thing. Otherwise, you're just bartering. The altcoin market right now is all barter. Oh, I'll trade you 10 Ripple for this, or I'll trade you 10 Stellar Lumens for this. You never are quite sure if you want to do a transaction with somebody via cryptocurrency, what cryptocurrency they're going to want. Unless you're real and you realize that what they want is Bitcoin. I mean, think about it. If you're actually talking about big money with somebody, they want Bitcoin. They want you to give them Bitcoin because they know that in the long term, Bitcoin is more valuable than any other alternative that you could offer them. And the reason for this is based in technological innovation and efficiency and soundness of the blockchain. The Bitcoin blockchain has the longest history, is the most secure, is the most devoted to, has the best programmers, receives the most attention. There is no altcoin that has produced any technology that any Bitcoin developer has deigned interesting enough or technologically advanced enough to port over to Bitcoin. And if there is such an advancement, I guarantee you it will be on the Bitcoin blockchain. Just look at the Bitcoin Cash fiasco and nightmare. Some individuals had it in their head that they could improve Bitcoin, that they could make it better. They were wrong. And the market showed that they're wrong. Look at the history. Look at the price action of Bitcoin Cash. Look at the price action of Bitcoin. So I'll ask you again. Why are you in cryptocurrency? Are you in cryptocurrency to make a quick buck? An irrational, unjust, evil system, fiat currency and central banking? Or are you willing to dedicate yourself to improving the lives of every man, woman, and child on this planet by helping to bring a revolution of sound money and security, free market economics? Well, thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I'm Justin Wise for Cracking Cryptocurrency, and this has been Breaking Bitcoin.